Hello everyone. In this video lecture, we will discuss on different faults in the power system. Let's see first what is fault. Fault is the abnormal condition in the power system. So due to the fault, when the system is balanced, it is having the phase sequence and phase difference. Hello friends. In this video lecture, we will discuss on faults in the power system. Fault, it is nothing but abnormal condition in the power system. The steady-state operating mode of a power system is a balanced three-phase AC. However, because of faults, that is abnormal condition in the power system, there will be a sudden changes in the internal system as the system is disturbed. When we have different types of disturbances like insulation failure, or there are many reasons by which we can have in the power system. Let's see different reasons or causes of faults in the power system. So you can see the list over here. The first and foremost important is what a lightning stroke. So due to the lightning stroke in any part of the power system, that is, if you have a lightning stroke onto the transmission line, or if you have a lightning stroke onto the any element, for example, a transformer or any element in the substation, so that will be get disturbed, and that ultimately disturb the whole system. Then heavy winds may disturb the transmission lines, which may result into the fault or disturbance to the power system. Then if trees are falling onto the transmission line or any component of the power system, once again it will disturb. Then vehicles colliding with the towers or poles, then birds shortening the lines, especially birds are sitting on the transmission line. So if birds are sitting on one conductor, and if they touch onto another conductor or any part of the pole, so that might be resulting the fault condition in the system. Then aircraft colliding with the lines, very rare fault. Small animals entering the switchgear, especially in the substations. This is most occurring fault. So due to the small animals like rats or snakes, when they're going to enter into the system components like breakers or even in the control panels, due to that, there might be a short circuit fault in the system, that is which is there in the substation. Then due to the excessive loading onto the transmission, like due to any reason, there might be the chances of line breaking. So these are what the some of the reasons by which we can have different types of faults in the power system. There are different types of faults in the system. Let's see the frequency of the occurrence. So most of the faults in the power system, which is of unsymmetrical type. Now in the unsymmetrical type, the frequency of the occurrence of single line to ground is around about 70%. Then it comes line to line fault, then double line to ground fault, and very rarely the balanced three-phase fault occurs in the power system. Let's see the effects of faults onto the power system. So as it has been discussed, the different causes of fault. So as there is a fault in the power system, it will impact onto the operations of the power system. So especially talking about different faults, whenever there is a disturbance or whenever there is a fault in the system, it might result in the loss of life and destruction of power system network. That is, elements which are connected in the power system. Faults also leads to cutoff of supply in areas beyond the fault point in the transmission and distribution network, leading to the power blackouts. So if the fault is not cleared earlier stages, so it might impact onto the whole transmission and distribution network. And if it is going to spread like anything, it might result into power blackouts. So this is very critical condition in the power system. And every system is, or every power system is trying to avoid such kind of blackout conditions. So even with the faults in the power system or disturbance in the power system, the industrial and commercial activities are also get disturbed, it will impact onto the commercial growth, economic growth, as well as uh, different sorts of activity of industries and different organizations. So even it will impact onto the institutes like educational institutes or private organizations or private offices. And due to such kind of problems, it directly impact onto the economic growth of that particular organization. So it is important, therefore, to determine the values of system voltage and currents during the faulty conditions, so that protective device may set to detect and minimize the harmful effects of such contingencies. So to avoid such kind of disturbances or the faults in the power system, and to protect the system from such kind of disturbances, it needs us to design a protective devices or protective systems. So unless and until we are not going to analyze the values of system voltage and currents during the fault conditions, we cannot able to design a protective device system. So with the help of analysis of different types of faults, we can able to find out the worst conditions in the system, that is in terms of its parameters like voltage, current, or impedance. And by the knowing or by the having the values of all these parameters, very basic parameters, we can design a protective system by which, as I said, we can minimize the impact of these kind of faults or disturbances or such kind of contingencies. Now, fault analysis basically done with the help of Thevenin circuit. So as everybody knows, that you might have learned in the network analysis, the Thevenin theorem states that any linear network containing a number of voltage sources and impedances can be replaced by a single EMF and impedance. The EMF in the open circuit voltage as seen from the terminal under the consideration, and the impedance is the network impedance as seen from these terminals. So for the fault calculations, we will reduce the fault circuit or power system network into the Thevenin equivalent circuit, in which we will have only two components in that circuit. One is EMF source and other is the impedance, which is connected in series with the EMF source. So that source, EMF source, is nothing but a fault EMF or the voltage, and impedance is nothing but the impedance till the fault point from the source. Let's proceed further to the analysis of especially unsymmetrical faults, because symmetrical fault analysis, let's see first difference between symmetrical faults and unsymmetrical faults. So in case of symmetrical faults, the conditions after the fault remains same or identical in each and every phase of the system, that is in the three phase. So the conditions are identical, by which it is very easy for the analysis. If we analyze one phase from the three phase, we can predict the system conditions for the three phases. But in case of unsymmetrical faults, the conditions after the fault are not identical through the all three phases. So therefore, it needs us to utilize a method which is specifically designed for the unsymmetrical fault analysis. And the method is nothing but the symmetrical components. So to analyze unsymmetrical faults, an unbalanced three-phase circuit has to be solved. Since direct solution of such circuit is very difficult, as I said, the solution can be more easily obtained by using symmetrical components. So it contains three single-phase networks, and only one of which contains a driving EMF source. Since the system reactants are balanced, the three fictitious networks have no mutual coupling between them, a fact that it is making the method of analysis quite easy. Let's say generalized principle of symmetrical components. So a set of three unbalanced three-phase voltages, or you can take a reference of even current also, can be transformed into three balanced sets. And these sets are, first is positive sequence, second is negative sequence, and third is zero sequence. Let's see first positive sequence. A positive sequence set of three symmetrical voltage. These are numerically equal almost in magnitude and displaced by 120 degree from each other, having a same phase sequence as ABC as that of the original, and denoted by VA1, VA2, sorry, VA1, VB1 and VC1 as shown in the figure. So notation 1 is utilized for the positive sequence component. Let's move towards the negative sequence component. A negative sequence set of three symmetrical voltages having a three phase sequences opposite to that of original set and denoted by VA2, VB2 and VC2 as shown in the figure. So this is a set of negative sequence component which is of the unbalanced voltage of the faulted system or disturbed system. And the last one is a zero sequence set of three voltages, all are equal in magnitude and in phase with each other. That is, the difference in the phase in between all zero sequence component of different phases is equals to 0. And these are denoted by VA0, VB0 and VC0. The positive and negative sequence sets are known as asymmetrical components. So therefore, we can denote a phase voltage VA like it is a summation of all three sequence components, that is VA1, VA2 and VA0. As far as VB is concerned, VB1, VB plus VB2 plus VB0 and VC is equals to VC1 plus VC2 plus VC0. The symmetrical component application to the power system analysis is fundamental importance since it can be used to transform arbitrary unbalanced condition into asymmetrical components. So the thing is, when we have unbalanced system or unbalanced components of a disturbed system, we can resolve those into the symmetrical components with the help of symmetrical component method. And once we resolve all three unbalanced phases into symmetrical components, it is quite easy to analyze as like the symmetrical components when we have the symmetrical faults. Let's move towards, so in the symmetrical components, the operator alpha plays a vital role. Let's see what is alpha or A. The operator A as used in symmetrical components is one in which when multiplied to vector rotates the vector through 120 degree in a positive, that is anti-clockwise direction without changing the magnitude. In some notations or in some books, some might refer alpha or some may refer the operator as a notation A. So this is a sort of multiplier operator, which when we are going to multiply this with the vector, it will rotate a vector through the 120 degree in positive direction. Positive in terms of anti-clockwise direction, and it is not going to impact onto the magnitude because its magnitude is 1. Therefore, operator A or alpha is defined as 1 at an angle 120 degrees. Let's see the next point. 3 sequence impedances and sequence networks. So positive sequence current gives rise to only positive sequence voltages. The negative sequence current gives rise only to a negative sequence voltages, and zero sequence current gives rise only to zero sequence voltages. Therefore, each network can be regarded as following within its own network through impedances of its own sequence only. Means in positive sequence circuit, all three components, that is current, voltage and impedance, are of positive type only. In case of negative sequence circuit, the three components, negative sequence voltage, negative sequence current and negative sequence impedance, are of negative sequence only. And same as for the zero sequence circuit, that is zero sequence voltage, zero sequence current and zero sequence impedance. In any part of the circuit, the voltage drop caused by current of a certain sequence depends on the impedance of that part of the circuit to current of that sequence. So if there is any changes in a particular sequence component, so that component only impact to its circuit only. It will not impact to other type of circuit. That means if anything is changes, or if anything is going to vary in case of positive sequence, it will not impact onto the negative sequence. The impedance of any section of balanced network to the network of one sequence may differ from impedance to the current of another sequence. The impedance of circuit when positive sequence currents are following is called impedance. When only negative sequence currents are flowing, the impedance is termed as negative sequence impedance. That is what earlier we have seen. The analysis of unsymmetrical fault in the power system is carried out by finding the symmetrical components of unbalanced current. So as earlier we have discussed, it needs us to analyze the unsymmetrical faults. So in the analysis of unsymmetrical fault, what we'll do is we will find out the symmetrical components of unbalanced phases, that is either voltage or currents or impedances, by which we can analyze the unsymmetrical fault. Since each sequence current causes a voltage drop of that sequence only, each sequence current can be considered to flow in independent network composed of impedances to current of that sequence only. Let's see the physical significance of the sequence components. This is achieved by considering the field which results when these sequence voltages are applied to the stator of the three-phase machine. That is, for example, an induction machine or induction motor. If a positive sequence set of voltage is applied to the terminal, that is ABC of a machine, the magnetic field revolving in a certain direction will be set up. If now the voltage to the terminals band C are changed by interchanging the leads to terminal B and C, it is known from the induction motor theory that the direction of magnetic field would be reversed. It is noted that for this condition, the relative phase positions of the voltages applied to the motors are of the same as for the negative sequence set. Hence, negative sequence set of voltage produces a rotating field rotating in opposite direction to that of the positive sequence. Means the direction of rotation of positive sequence circuit and negative sequence circuit, that is the positive sequence field and negative sequence field, are opposite to each other. For both positive and negative sequence component, the standard convention of counterclockwise rotation is followed. So while checking the phase sequence, the clockwise direction or counterclockwise, sorry, that is anti-clockwise rotation is followed conventionally. Almost in all reference books, you can find this particular notation. The application of zero sequence voltages do not produce any field because these voltages are in the phase and the three-phase winding are displaced by 120 degree. So there is no as such impact of zero sequence voltages, as they are having zero phase displacement from each other of different three phases. The positive and negative sequence sets are the balanced one. Thus, if only positive and negative sequence currents are flowing, the phasor sum of each will be zero and there will be no residual current. However, the zero sequence components of currents in the three phase are in the phase and the residual current will be 3 times the zero sequence current of one phase. In the case of fault involving ground, the positive and negative sequence currents are in equilibrium, while the zero sequence currents flows through the ground and overhead ground wires. So unless and until there will be no earth connection of the neutral, there will be no zero sequence component. If we have a grounded neutral, then and then only the zero sequence component will remain present, and its magnitude, as it has been discussed, it's of 3 times of that of positive and negative sequence currents.